Hi, angels. I am just going to dive straight into today's episode. I have no idea where this is going to take us. I am just speaking from the heart with the intention to show up with a message that is going to help you. And I'm about to go to lunch, so I want to try and get through this while it's fresh and raw on my mind. I'm about to go to lunch because I'm off to Bali in 2 days' time and it's my birthday while I'm away. So I feel like this episode has come up at the right time because I know every time I go to Bali, I see shifts in me and I see shifts in the women that I take every single time. And I guess this episode is, I feel like the title, I don't even know what I'm going to call it, but I feel like it is Confessions of a 46, almost 47, 46-year-old woman, wife, mum, business owner. And it's just going to be so real, so raw, so honestly vulnerable, which is a hard thing to show up and share at times. But I just feel that we live in such a time where there is so much perfection. There is so much just this need to feel like we have everything all together, this need to show our worth, this need for validity, this or like from external validity, this need for keeping up, fitting in, being successful, holding everything together. And it's so much pressure on women, on not just women, men too, but there's so much pressure on people that I thought to myself, you know, sometimes on the outside, I might look like I have it all together, or I might look like nothing bothers. Because I say to people say to me all the time, like, nothing really bothers you. You are so cruisy. Even when I went to my Pilates private with Pania on yesterday, she said to me, I can't believe you're going to retreat in 2 days' time and you're just so calm, you're just so chilled. Like, I would be an absolute, anxious mess right now because there's so much to do before you go on retreat. And that's just, I've got a capacity, like I've got a really good capacity to just trust in the moment and trust in what I need to share on retreat. I guess I have things planned, but I'm also very divinely guided. So I don't over plan. I allow space for whatever needs to come through with that particular group of women when I'm in the moment will come through. So I am quite calm because I just trust. I just trust that it will run beautifully and that everything we need in the moment will come through. So yes, I'm off on retreat in 2 days' time and so much has come up for me this week. Like, you wouldn't believe. I have felt so tired. I have, honestly, I've felt drained. I've felt exhausted. I have felt flat. I have felt like there's a stirring inside me for change. There's a stirring of something coming when I go to Bali, but I don't know what that is. And I'm feeling really, I guess, it's not that I don't care. I just feel like, I'll give you an example. I haven't shown up on social media barely at all this week. I haven't put a post up in a week and I just don't care. As bad as that sounds, it's like that kind of little bit of creativity or that desire to share or to be seen, or not even be seen, but to show up with content. I just feel like I just need to be at home a little bit and I just need to just retreat into myself for a little bit. And I know we all go through the same thing. So I'm sharing this with, it's hard to say something like that to your community. Go, I just actually don't care about sharing this week. And, but it's the truth. Like, I'm telling you the honest to God truth of how I've been feeling. I went for a massage yesterday. Tom's like, why do you need a massage when you're just about to go to Bali and you're going to get massages? I said, I know, but you don't understand. Jen is different. Like, Jen is just absolutely amazing and just gets into where she needs to get into for my body, for classes to be at its absolute best. And yesterday was excruciating. And it's never like that. I often will just drift off to sleep, but my body is holding so much tension and that she really needed to heal and to release and work through for me. And my body just felt tight and just been feeling quite overwhelmed. And what happened was I pulled a card, it was 2 days ago. And I pulled this card, and this is what I want to dive into and share with you, okay? I'm going to get real raw with you guys right now. And I pulled this card out of my beautiful deck, Alana Fairchild's Medicine Heart. And this card, I'm reading it, and it's around confessions. And I'm reading it going, it talks about speaking freely in a non-judgmental space, to unburden the soul, to allow for clarity and processing of experiences. And confession to the shaman is an important initial step towards understanding what appropriate atonement should involve to facilitate healing. Anyway, I'm reading this card, and it talks about, as a human, you'll muddle along, mess things up, gain insight as to what an authentic life path is for you. But this is how you grow into fullness and spiritual maturity as a human. If you made mistakes or wish that you could have handled something different, or allow regret to inspire a different way rather than lead to self-criticism and ridicule, your innate pure spiritual being. You always have been, always will be. You're here to learn and grow. There never was any requirement for perfection, and take responsibility for the inevitable messes of learning and growing, and still celebrate the mysterious magic of your life. And there's like pages and pages. That's just a little snippet. And I'm reading this card going, this is stupid. I don't need this right now. Like, I don't know. What am I supposed to be confessing? And it talks about shame and embarrassment and guilt and fears. And yeah, I have fears, and like we all do, but I'm just reading this card. Like it says here, confession may evoke mental or emotional resistance if one is grappling with toxic shame. And I'm just reading it going, this just doesn't make sense. I don't know what I need to confess right now. Like, it's just stupid. I shouldn't, it's a dumb card. It was always going through my mind, right? But I go, for goodness sake, Lise, if you pull a card, there's a reason. Just sit with it. You might not understand it. It might not make sense right now, but sit with it. So anyway, I thought, okay, I am going to dive into a meditation. I dive into my meditation, and then so much starts coming up for me, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I just see like flashes of, I feel things in my heart, and I see flashes of pictures coming through my mind. And then all of a sudden I jump out of meditation and I start writing. Okay, I'm going to be really raw and share a few things that I start writing in my journal. So I start writing down, this morning I felt a need to release so many fears deep within me. Fears, shame, embarrassment that have been holding me back. Fears of being different, being fully seen as being imperfect. And I might stop, I might read a little bit and stop and share a bit with you, okay? That my business it's so rewarding and fulfilling for me, and it's growing and I'm growing. But I feel embarrassed as it's not making me as much money as what I thought it would have by now. I love what I do, but I feel ashamed that, I'll give you an example. I had, so this is what started stirring up in me. I felt embarrassed that what happened going into retreat. We had one more spot to fill. Right at the end of retreat, we put it out there. We had somebody cancel because of an injury. And then we filled that spot. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness, it's filled. Then I had another woman on retreat say she doesn't know if she can come. And I felt embarrassed to put another post up going, well, actually, it's not filled. Something else has happened. Because you feel like, I would look at other people who run businesses or who run retreats, and they might have had their retreats sold out 6 months ago or 3 months ago, or you can feel sometimes that it's so hard. Like, it's so hard running a business, and you kind of feel like you want to have it all together and have everything ticked. I've got, 8 spots to fill. They're all filled. And it feels shameful or embarrassing as a business owner to go, well, actually, I don't now. I know I said we filled a spot and then we didn't. And now, we didn't have, let me get that out. I know I said we had a spot to fill. We filled it. That's great. Like, job done. And then another one's come up. So I didn't have it in me to go, I need to put another post out and say we've actually got another spot to fill. So I started making a lot of phone calls. We ended up kind of putting a post out. So we did, but I sat with that embarrassment. I sat with that looking like we haven't got it all together, or looking like, I've failed, or looking like, what's wrong with us? Other people, and comparing ourselves to other people. And I had to really sit with that and go, that is business. Like, that is life. It doesn't run smoothly. It doesn't run perfectly all the time. Stuff comes up for people. And because this hasn't happened to me before on past retreats. So I was juggling with that. Then I wrote down, I spoke about that. how I was feeling ashamed or embarrassed, or I'm just going to use the word shame. Okay. So ashamed or embarrassed or feeling guilty, like class numbers have been low. I've had people cancel. I feel like my business hasn't grown as much as I thought it would have in 5 years. I felt like I was letting my teachers down. I felt like I was letting people in the community down if they rock up and there'd only be a small amount of people in class. And I felt, embarrassed by that, thinking, what am I doing wrong? I also felt, I'll just share with you everything I wrote down. I felt embarrassed because sometimes my daughter and my husband don't take me seriously at times and don't want to hear my spiritual answers or my solution or interpretations of situations. They'll say, like openly, I don't want to hear your lessons. It's not because of X, Y, Z lesson. It's because of this. And they'll say something logical. And that can sometimes feel so hard when you can feel a little bit of the black sheep. There's times they get me, there's times they don't. There's times that, what the hell would mum know? And I was sitting with all of that. I wrote down, I'm sick of comparing myself to other women in my industry, feeling like I'm not doing a good enough job or progressing in my business growth as much as I thought I would be. I sometimes feel like I have to keep up this facade of having it all together when financial fears or lack around cash flow with the business can crop up. I'm sick of feeling like I have to hide my real self around people outside of my safety of my community. I feel embarrassed and ashamed that I still haven't got my online course out there when I thought I would have had it done months ago, and things just keep coming up. And I said I made a plan with my business coach to have it all out there in the time I went to retreat, and it hasn't happened because there's more work involved than I thought there would be, and I'm having to learn so many new things in that IT space. It's another thing, I'm sick of getting distracted on social media or distracted with anything really and not feeling focused enough. I'm ashamed that I felt like I got scammed there was a fake LSKD email that come around. It wasn't from LSKD, it was from like scammers. And for a moment, it made me feel seen or important. And then I felt like an idiot that I had kind of fell for it. So I was feeling a bit shitty around that. I was feeling ashamed or embarrassed that with my body, like I felt like I've let my body go with the discipline. Like in an episode ago or 2 episodes ago, I spoke about having an argument with my husband, and how things that I looked at him as that mirror, things that I was angry in him about, I was actually angry about in myself. And there were some things that since we moved into this house that he hadn't started doing yet or had let fall by the wayside. And then I looked at my stuff and went, well, actually, since we've moved here, like my discipline has gone with all of my food prep that I used to be so meticulous about, and my working out, I would prioritize it every single day, and I've let a lot of that slide. So I was writing down here about how I felt like embarrassed in my body because I felt that I've put on a bit of weight compared to a couple of years ago, and I've let my discipline, my food prep and working out go, and I'm like, I'm over it. So I was writing down all of these things that I just felt so ashamed of, or that embarrassed of, or that it was all ego. Everything that I wrote down was all of this ego, instead of being really raw and honest and going like, this is what happens, this is life. With women, we're trying to juggle work or business or study and households and kids and partners, or being the caregiver, and there's so much going on that it can be hard to admit to ourselves that we don't have to have it all together. We all have embarrassments. We all have fears. We all have shames. We all carry this toxic guilt. And then I wrote down in my journal, I'm releasing and confessing and letting go of all of these feelings to be healed, transmuted, and making changes now going forward. I can't wait to go to Bali. That's what I wrote down, to get away from everyone and have space to heal, release, and be myself freely, without fear, without embarrassment or judgment, and come back nourished, re-energized, more powerful and confident than ever before, and with more love and worth and belief in myself, in my heart. I needed to realize all of this and have this awareness, but most importantly, I wrote down in capital letters, I needed to admit it to myself so I can heal and grow and move forward from this. Thank you, universe, and Wilma, my spirit guide, for helping me recognize what I've been carrying. And I choose now to let it go and create space in my heart and soul to move forward and open myself up to what I want to receive and how I want to live. I'm blessed with the courage and my courage gives birth. I couldn't read my own writing there for a second. I'm blessed with my courage, and my courage gives birth to the divine light within me. I love you. Thank you. And I was crying when I was writing all of these things down, because I feel, like I've even had Jed, my massage therapist, say to me before, like she goes, you run such a successful business and so many women look up to you and admire you and respect you, and tell me how much you've transformed their life and how much you've helps them. And I said to her, sometimes I feel like, as doing the right things, I feel successful. And then other times you feel like this imposter syndrome. You feel like, if only they knew the battles that we go through, if only they knew that I was freaking out about, class numbers, or freaking out about not making the money that I thought I would be right now. And I can see that I've grown in so many areas of my life. But if we were to just gauge it on financial success, I wouldn't feel that great right now, because, running a business can be really challenging, and it has an ups and downs, and it definitely makes me stronger. And to sit here and, and openly say, I thought I would be making more money. I've got a goal on my vision board. And this is where it comes from. You've got this expectation of what you want to meet, and then you have where you're sitting now. So that gap is from where you want to be to where you are now. That gap is what causes a lot of maybe the fears, the doubts, the insecurities, the lack, the not feeling good enough. And I've got on my vision board, I tick so many things off on my vision board, but I feel like this goal that's been sitting there to earn $500,000 a year, like that's a big, I'll openly admit it, that's a goal that I have. And I don't care where it comes from. I don't care if it comes through my studio, through my Earthy Angels brand, through winning lotto, through, wherever it comes from. That's not important, because I know the energy of having your focus on the end result, focus on the picture of what you want to create is more important than the how, or how it comes in, and controlling the way that it comes to you. You just got to focus on that vision and that intention. And I feel like there's so many things that I have ticked off that I've wanted, like so many things in my heart that do line up for me, and that I have actually created, that I'm proud of. But I feel like this kind of elusive goal is still sitting there, and I haven't hit it yet. And it does create a lot of feeling of, what am I doing wrong? Or feeling of, when am I going to get there? When's it going to show up? So then you get stuck in that mentality of the lack of, why is it not here yet? When's it showing up? Why, you get stuck in the mentality of lack of money, or lack of cancellations that come through, or things that go wrong, and that can consume you. And I felt like this week that I've kind of been sitting in that energy of lack, if I'm perfectly honest. And I'm like, this is not how I usually feel. I can get myself out of it. And I don't have any answers for you in this episode, okay? I had a goal to show up today and just be so real and raw and honest with you guys. And it's hard, because you don't want to be like talking about yourself all the time, because people go, well, give me the answer. Tell me what I need to hear to fix it. Tell me how to move forward. I want to learn from you, okay? And yes, I'm going to get to that, and I'm going to teach you, because something is going to come out of this. But I felt a need in my heart to just sit and record and share with you exactly how I'm feeling right now, and just sit in the energy of having the emotional intelligence to embody how I'm feeling, and share it with you, to normalize it, to go, this is okay. This is normal. We all have moments like this in different areas of our life, whether it's in relationships or health or finance or career, or as a lover, as a partner, or in not finding enough joy in your life. We all have, or past trauma, like we all have these things that we sit with, that we feel, how am I going to get out of it? Or when am I going to get out of it? Or what are the answers to the solution? Where sometimes we just need to feel. And like I did, I wrote down, it wasn't until I got that card. I thought the card was stupid. I thought it didn't relate. And it wasn't until I sat with it for a little while. I did in meditation. And then I got out my journal. And as I started writing in my journal, all of these things poured out of me. And then I wrote down, and like I said, I admitted it to myself. That is like such a powerful gift to give yourself, is that gift of awareness, and saying, I admit it to myself. Because from that, it's like a weight feels like it's been lifted off your shoulders, and recognizing that this is your ego. Your ego wants to keep you safe. Your ego wants you to look like you've got it all held together. Your ego wants you to present a certain way to the world. Your ego wants you to feel like, as a human, that you've ticked all these boxes and that you're winning in every part of your life. Whereas your soul wants you to admit the truth. Your soul wants you to feel how you need to feel, because it's when you sit with the emotion of it and you feel how you need to feel that you can pivot and you can change and you can grow from it. But if you never admit how you feel, if you never admit the struggles, the shame, the embarrassment, the guilt, if you never bring it to the surface, it will stay buried inside you forever. And that's what leads to maybe manifesting physically as a disease or an illness or stress or overwhelm, or not being able to move forward in relationships or business or career or what you're meant to do, because you've got this stuck in your stomach or wherever you carry it in your body. It is stuck with you. You need to bring it up by admitting it to yourself. So that's what I was kind of sitting with. And then this morning, I still feeling a bit flat and a bit shitty, I pulled this card this morning. I went and sat out, and I literally just sat there and had my raw cacao and just looked out to the water and was just sitting and just feeling into how I was feeling. And I thought, I need to go pull a card, and I have a vision flash in my mind of the deck that I want, and I go and pull these two decks. And then out of my Divine Feminine Oracle deck, I pull Kali, right? The Kali card. I was like, fuck me, not Kali. It was the first thing that went through my mind, not Kali. Kali or Dark Night of the Soul are like, they really invoke change in you, and it can be uncomfortable. And Kali says, the mother of the universe. And it says in this card, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. And it's almost like Kali. I'll read you a little bit of this card because it's actually pretty cool. Kali embodies the ultimate wake-up call to get us aligned as soon as possible with what we've come here to do. Her name comes from the Sanskrit word meaning fullness of time. And it says here that she is the divine protectress and mother of the universe because she can cut through illusion and grant us the reality our soul came here to manifest. So everything I shared with you before, it's all illusion, like it's all that ego stuff that we tell ourselves that we get stuck in, the fear, the toxicity, the shame, the guilt. It's this ego illusion, this humanness. And it says here, Kali is as subtle as a sledgehammer, and that's what freaks me out. She shows up to strip us of what no longer serves us. And that can sound good in theory, but in practice, it can feel as though the ground beneath us has turned to sand, and the illusion about how we see ourselves suddenly dissolves. When Kali sweeps in, we can easily slip into feeling like a victim, which I have been, and it can feel as though events are happening to us rather than for us. She doesn't want you to waste another precious second being someone that we are not. And she doesn't want us to be with a partner who doesn't treat us with the respect we deserve. And she wants us to do the light work that we've come here to do. She wants us to sever ties with our ego, and that our ego is made out of fear or false belief that we don't deserve anything better for ourselves. She wants us to get terrifyingly real with ourselves. She wants us to reckon with the fact that we're not here to please everybody and make them proud. We're here to listen to the singular calling of our own soul. She is the harbinger of having entered our soul and stripping the ego back to reveal. And that can leave the soul feeling raw and heartbreaking. But ultimately, she's come out of fierce love and truth of who we really are. She's giving us the opportunity to choose to start over, and this is time from a place of tremendous wisdom and strength and vulnerability. She lets us begin again from the bare bones truth of who we are. And then it asks you, what is falling away from my life right now that no longer serves me? And then I sat with it and went into a meditation, and just had so many visions come through in meditation of things that I need to release, things I need to let go of, things that I feel a bit stuck with a few things going into retreat. And I'm like, no, this is good. Like, this is all divinely timed, because I know when I go on retreat, things change. I just know going to that spiritual energy of Bali, things stir up. And then I pulled this other deck after meditation. I thought I was done, and then I just get this voice pop in my head. Go and pull some cards out of your Archangel Tarot deck. The 4 cards that I pulled, these are just really cool, like short-ish cards. And the first one was 7 of Raphael, time to make a decision. Be clear about what you want and take action, a need for detoxification. The second card was an opportunity to improve your plans. Listen to your intuition for accurate guidance and face your fears to grow stronger. The next one, 8 of Michael, was all around you can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation. You're not seeing things clearly. And the last card said Ace of Raphael, a positive new emotional experience, fulfilling relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. And it said home is where the heart is. And I was sitting with all of this morning, and something in my meditation come up for me around a choice that I need to make, around what I'm doing with my business, with my career, with my Earthy Angels brand, with the studio. Just all of these things were going through my head. And then I pulled these cards around. It's time to make a decision. It's time to shift and pivot and change your plans. It's time to make courageous choices about your situation. And home is where the heart is, meaning whatever you do, it comes back to where your heart is, like wherever you live. It doesn't matter the physical studio, the physical like space, the physical environment. It comes back to where your heart is. And that's where your home is, where you are, where your family is. And all of these things, I just kept thinking, get back to your heart. Home is where the heart is, get back to your heart. And I don't know, I don't have an answer for you as to where all of this is going. I know I'm on retreat in 2 days' time, and I know that this is all shown up for me to start a bit of a story. And on retreat, I'm going to fill in some gaps. So this episode will come out either when I'm on retreat or the week I get back. I'm not sure. I might have to switch one around. I've already got one scheduled for when I'm on retreat. I might switch them. I'll see what I can do with my IT guy. But anyway, my point of all of this is to go, sometimes we don't have all the answers. Sometimes we don't have the solution. Sometimes we don't know what decisions we need to make. We don't know what is ahead of us. But have the emotional intelligence to feel how you need to feel, to be so raw and honest and vulnerable with yourself. Because when you really have the courage to look at yourself, to look at your stuff, that is where answers will come. That is where guidance will come. When you just go, you know what, I'm just going to surrender this all over to the universe. I don't know the how. I don't know what this is going to look like. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But something is coming for me. And that's what I felt with this Kali card. Something is coming. Something is stirring up. But I just wanted to give you permission to be raw with yourself, girls. Give you permission to go, it's okay not to know the answers. Okay to feel like we haven't got everything together all the time. To feel like we don't know where we're going. To feel like maybe the path we thought we were on might be different. To feel like there are decisions that you have to make and you don't know the answer yet. But get in solitude, sit down, feel how you need to feel, journal it and write it out. And let's just give other women permission to go, you know what? It's not all roses in business or career or with relationships or families or what we're trying to do for our life. Let's raise up other women and go, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to carry shame and admit it. It's okay to have those feelings of guilt or embarrassment. Admit it to yourself first. The first thing, even if you don't tell it to anybody else, admit it to yourself, write it down in your journal, feel how you need to feel, and so much freedom when a weight coming off your shoulders will empower you. And something is going to come from this for you. So get really real and raw and honest with yourself, girls, and just trust in the process, trust in the divine, trust that answers will come to you, trust that guidance will come to you. But the purpose of this episode is to tell you confessions of a 46-year-old mum, wife, woman, business owner. Have some confessions for yourself and just hold the faith that is going to be so fulfilling for you, and it is going to take you where you need to go, and it's going to free up space to open up what you need to bring into your life. Have a beautiful day, my friends. So much love to you. Bye.